Zoe sat on her bedroom floor, eyes fixed on the vision board she'd made at the start of the year. She had scribbled down her biggest dreams: a thriving career, radiant health, and a sense of confidence that lit up any room she walked into. She'd spent hours writing affirmations, reading every self-help book that promised to unlock the power of manifestation. But no matter how many techniques she tried, no matter how many times she visualized her dream life, the results fell flat. The worst part, she kept seeing friends around her who appeared to master manifestation overnight, landing great jobs, forging perfect relationships, generating breakthroughs in their passions, while she felt stuck, almost like the universe had put her on hold. Every morning, she woke up wishing for a sign that her efforts meant something. But each night, she'd go to bed wondering if this manifestation stuff was just a myth. After months of waiting for miracles, Zoe teetered on the edge of giving up. She'd done it all, pinned inspiring quotes on her walls, tried to evoke gratitude in her heart, attempted journaling. She even tried to trick her mind by repeating, "I am abundant," 50 times a day. Yet her bank balance stayed the same. Her confidence hovered on shaky ground, and each rejection email stung more than the last. As the tension rose, she reached a breaking point. She canceled her plans, locked herself in her bedroom, scrolled through countless videos and articles, searching for someone, anyone, who could explain why she still felt like she was going nowhere. In that moment of desperation, she began stumbling onto a sliver of truth she hadn't heard before. Something that hinted there might be a deeper side to manifestation, a layer hidden beneath the quick-fix advice. Something told her that maybe, just maybe, all she'd heard was only half the story. But let's not jump too far ahead, because before Zoe, and before you, can grasp the real power behind manifestation, we first need to navigate through the mess of advice out there. See, there's a good reason so many people feel frustrated by manifestation and think it's all fluff. We're taught to just visualize or just set our intention, and the rest will take care of itself. Yet day after day, we keep hitting dead ends. Like Zoe, we get lured by the promise of instant success if we keep a cheerful vibe. But underneath that, a single thought creeps in. What if I'm doing it wrong? What if I don't deserve this? What if everyone else can do it but me? And that's when the panic sets in, because maybe it really is you. Maybe you're the one who can't get it right. That's enough to make anyone want to quit. Zoe's moment of panic wasn't just about failing. It was about the shame of trying so hard and still seeing no results. Late into the night, she'd lie in bed, replaying the day in her head, wondering where she messed up. Was her affirmations routine too short? Should she have written them 100 times? Or was she secretly sabotaging herself? It was maddening. She started thinking, if manifestation is real, then why don't I see any signs? Why are all these gurus living their dream life while I'm over here feeling like I'm spinning my wheels? That's the puzzle so many of us end up stuck in. We hear the success stories, we see the overnight transformations, and we think, that's it. I'll just do what they did. Recite a few lines, meditate for 5 minutes, and watch my dream life materialize. But we forget that what we see on the surface is never the complete picture. There's sweat, there's sacrifice, there are restless nights behind every shiny success story. And sometimes there's a very specific approach that you might never discover if you just follow generic advice. The question is, how do you unearth that hidden layer, this deeper code behind actual manifestation? If the quick tips don't get you anywhere, Zoe felt she was close to a breakthrough when she realized that it wasn't just about external success. Something inside had to shift. She caught glimpses of a more authentic, grounded approach to creating change, something that demanded she take a hard look at her own beliefs, her own self-image. And that process was painful, because real manifestation isn't just pinning pictures on a board. It's facing the parts of yourself that feel uncomfortable. It's about stepping into action, even if you're full of doubts, and staying the course when life tests your commitment. The problem is, these steps aren't always fun. They're not the sparkly, magical secret many of us hope for. They involve real, raw honesty and consistent action. In Zoe's case, the process started with a harsh realization. Despite all her big talk about wanting a better life, she was still haunted by limiting beliefs. A piece of her believed she didn't deserve success, or that she wasn't the kind of person who could be financially free, who could be confident in any crowd. She saw her upbringing, her past failures, and convinced herself those labeled her destiny. That's where manifestation often breaks down. Because if part of you is convinced you're not worthy, all the vision boards in the world can't drown out that inner voice. You can repeat "I am abundant" daily, but if your core identity is wired to "I am always short," that contradiction blocks progress. At first, Zoe didn't know how to handle it. She was scared to face the possibility that she might have to let go of old stories about herself. But the pain of staying stuck was stronger than the fear of change. That's a turning point so many people reach. You either stay in your comfort zone, complaining that manifestation doesn't work, or you step up, ready to do the hard inner work. Zoe took a leap. She started examining her past experiences, not to dwell in pity, but to see where these limiting beliefs were planted. She noticed how each disappointment, from her teenage years to the last job rejection, stacked up in her subconscious, silently telling her, "This is who you are." One by one, she identified these beliefs. It felt raw. It felt exhausting. She'd sometimes cry midway, feeling like she was reopening old wounds. But as she confronted them, she saw that these beliefs were not absolute truths. They were conclusions her mind made in moments of hurt and defeat. And in this process, she discovered that rewriting them was a possibility. It didn't happen overnight. There was no magic wand that wiped out every ounce of self-doubt. But she found that each time she challenged a long-standing belief, it loosened its grip a little more. This is part of manifestation that rarely gets airtime. It's a dance between your conscious desires and your subconscious programming. You can't just put fresh paint on a shaky foundation. You need to repair what's underneath, or the cracks will keep showing through. It's not glamorous or Insta-worthy, but it's crucial. In fact, it might be the only sustainable way to manifest anything truly fulfilling in your life. Zoe then tackled an equally critical piece: action. She realized manifestation is never just an internal game. Yes, mindset is powerful, but it doesn't carry weight unless followed by deliberate steps. She set small goals that aligned with her bigger vision and took consistent action daily. Tiny steps, really. She reached out for new job prospects, practiced her communication skills, networked in places she never thought she belonged. Was it scary? Absolutely. But each small risk stretched her comfort zone. Each phone call, each application, each conversation was a statement to herself and to life. I'm serious about this. That willingness to act, combined with a transforming belief system, started weaving together a kind of magic she'd never felt before. Here's the twist. The results still weren't immediate. She didn't wake up to $1 million in her account one morning. She didn't suddenly have everyone praising her brilliance, but she noticed tiny shifts. She began receiving positive feedback at work. Random opportunities to collaborate on projects popped up. Even her relationships felt more open, more genuine. These were subtle changes, but significant enough to show her she was on the right path. That's the real beauty of manifestation. It often arrives in small miracles that pave the way for grander changes. It's not always fireworks. Sometimes it's a quiet nudge in a new direction, an unexpected phone call, a conversation that lights a spark. You have to be alert and ready to say, "Yes, I'm here for this." And that's the piece so many of us are missing. We expect the jackpot to fall in our lap before we invest real energy. But the universe, or life, or your higher self, or whatever you want to call it, tends to whisper first, checking if you're genuinely open to listening. Zoe learned to pay attention to those small openings, acting on them with trust, even before she felt entirely ready. Over time, those small steps gathered momentum. The job changes came, her confidence blossomed, and she started to feel like she was living in alignment with who she truly was meant to be. Looking back, Zoe realized that manifestation is not about wishing hard. It's about daily alignment between your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. It's about clearing out self-sabotaging patterns. It's about actively stepping into the version of yourself that can handle the things you say you want. If you want a stable, loving relationship, you cultivate qualities of trust, self-respect, and openness to vulnerability. If you want financial abundance, you begin to treat money with care. You study it, you look for ways to grow, and you learn to shift your relationship with scarcity. And as you do, your outer world begins to match the new frequency you set within. This is how manifestation truly works, not through illusions or shortcuts, but through consistent, intentional change from the inside out. So many people wish the solution was simpler. A single affirmation, a quick technique, and boom, dream life unlocked. But at the end of the day, if you want to craft a new reality, you have to be willing to rewrite the stories you've told yourself up to this point. You have to be okay with being a beginner again, with stumbling and getting back up. Yes, it can be tiring at first. Yes, it can feel like you're pushing against an old version of yourself. But the moment you experience those first signs of real progress, like Zoe did, you'll realize that this is the path where true transformation lies. Remember the hopelessness you feel when manifestation doesn't come quickly. That sinking worry that maybe you're not spiritual enough, or talented enough, or just plain unlucky. That is the very feeling that can ignite your determination. It's the tension that can fuel a deeper level of commitment. If you shift your lens and see each disappointment not as proof of failure, but as a signpost directing you to look inward, you'll discover the cracks in your own foundation that need repair. Those cracks are not curses. They're simply revelations of what you need to refine within yourself to hold the manifestations you desire. Once you truly understand that manifestation starts from inside, your identity, your beliefs, your willingness to take action, then the outer circumstances begin to respond in kind. Think of it like learning to ride a bike for the first time. You can read all the books on balance and watch videos of professional bikers, but until you actually throw yourself into the seat and wobble your way forward, you won't get anywhere. Real manifestation requires that same active trust in the process. If you've been on this path for a while, if you've tried all the feel-good tips and still find yourself frustrated, maybe it's time to meet yourself at a deeper level. Ask yourself, which beliefs am I clinging to that no longer serve me? Which actions am I avoiding out of fear or a sense of unworthiness? And then commit to change those two things consistently. Don't just dabble, be all in. Because once you align your beliefs with your goals and follow through with real effort, you become unstoppable. That is the secret most people skip. As Zoe discovered, that's when the real magic happens. Because manifestation isn't just about having something appear out of thin air. It's about you becoming the kind of person who naturally draws in the experiences that match your new, elevated state of being. It's a journey of transformation that touches every corner of your life. How you see yourself, how you interact with others, how you bounce back from setbacks. And when it finally clicks, when you start seeing the subtle but unmistakable changes in your life, there's this incredible sense of awe and gratitude that follows. You realize that you are, in fact, the active co-creator of your life. You always have been. So maybe this is all you really need to remember. Manifestation is the union of belief and action. It's about freeing yourself from the shadows of old doubts and self-imposed limitations. It's about showing up for the opportunities, even the small ones, that your fresh energy invites in. And when you fuse all those elements, that's when doors start to open, relationships heal or evolve, and you find yourself moving toward your goals with a sense of purpose you never knew was possible. That might sound like a fairy tale, but for so many people, this is exactly how it all comes together. If you're listening to this and you're ready to dive in deeper, I'd love to hear what area of your life you're committed to manifesting change in right now. So, drop a comment below and share one thing you're finally ready to shift. Maybe it's your finances, your health, your relationships, or even your sense of self-worth. Let's support each other in this journey toward genuine transformation, because there's real power in having a community of people who believe in growth and are willing to do the work. The choice is always in your hands. Keep circling in frustration or pivot into the brave, deeper work that rewrites your reality. This is the last video on manifestation you really need, because once you embody these truths, once you commit to both your inner and outer game, everything else is just detail. Let this be the moment you decide to stop chasing surface-level tips and start living as the person you were always meant to be. It might feel daunting at first, but I promise, if you keep taking each step forward with intent and courage, the results can be downright astonishing. So go out there, make it happen, and let your life be the proof of what's truly possible.